Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. Today we have a question from our friend Russ. Russ says he is not very athletic, and he's more like a computer nerd. Okay, cool. We need computer nerds in this world. We do. Recently, I started to entertain an idea to get out there and maybe learn some practical fighting. Cool. Like BJJ or boxing or kickboxing. I have a couple of reservations on this, though, and maybe you'll be able to help me with advice. Maybe I will. Let's find out. First, I have quite a significant dental restoration work done with implants and a denture, and I'm afraid that an unlucky strike might undo some of that, potentially giving me a couple $1,000 bills for fixing it again. Is this a legit concern for a practice of sparring? Okay, let's address that question first. Get a mouthguard. Even a simple $5 boil and bite mouthguard. Man, I should make a video on how to make a boil and bite mouthguard, how to form one of those. Because that is a question I'm constantly fielding from my own students. So I should definitely make a video about that so I can just say, watch this video. It would save me the trouble of explaining it over and over again. It's not a long, laborious process, but get a mouthguard. And if you want something better than a boil and bite mouthguard, spend a little bit more. Or if you want to get a perfectly fitted, dental mold of your teeth done by a professional, you have that option too. So get a mouthguard. It is the most important piece of training equipment for sparring. By far. More important than gloves. Way, way, way more important than headgear. So much more important than shin guards. Why? Because it doesn't just protect your teeth, which it does. It protects your brain. Everything in your head held together by biting down correctly on that mouth guard. So get yourself one of those. Now, next, you need to be very cautious about the way that you spar. I have a whole playlist of videos on sparring, on how to spar safely, effectively, how most of your sparring should be light contact sparring, with no attempt to injure your training partners. That's super important. Because if you don't do that, you will never log enough hours of sparring to actually get good at fighting. And to get good at something, you need to log a lot of hours doing it. Hours. Ask yourself right now, if you're watching this, if you're a martial artist training for a combat sport, how many actual hours have I spent sparring? Calculate that. If you don't know, guess. If you still don't know, get yourself a notebook. Start writing it down. It may shock you. It may absolutely shock you how little sparring you've actually done. And if that's the case, change the way you spar so you can do more of it without getting hurt, without getting your teeth knocked out. So make sure you are sparring with people that you trust. All right, next part of the question. Second, since my teen years, I couldn't do physical activities well. Oh, okay. Same here, man. I was such a weakling, constantly ran out of breath. I felt like, I felt like I had a heart condition or something, man. And this is me I'm talking about. But let's go on and see what else Russ has to say before I pontificate about what a wimp I was. Since my teen years, I couldn't do physical activities well. I would lose my breath in an instant, unable to continue. Whoa, that sounds exactly like me back in the day. Over the years, I have done some medical examinations for heart and lungs, but the doctors couldn't find anything wrong with me. All right, cool. Cool, man. You saw some specialists, they gave you a clean bill of health, so let's see what the problem is. I have tried to train through it. I was doing some fencing. That's pretty intense, especially with all the lunges. I went to a fencing club in my college, my freshman year there, and my legs were so sore. Every time we trained, so many lunges and stuff, man. So much leg work in fencing that I did not anticipate. My trainer told me to get a chest strap type of heart monitor and to set it for 180 beats per minute alarm. Every time I'd get into a bout without fail, after 2 or 3 lunges, the monitor would trigger. My beats per minute will spike to over 190, and I would need 5 or 10 minutes to get it under 150. Why? Why is that so urgent that you get it lower? When you're engaged in intense physical activity, especially depending on the size of your body, your VO2 max, all these other attributes, your heart rate could well be up over 190. That's not abnormal. Your heart isn't going to explode. You're not going to have a heart attack and die. So I don't see a need to stop. Maybe consult some other medical professionals as opposed to simply consulting a trainer. A fitness trainer is a very different thing than a sports medicine doctor, for example. That's a good guy to talk to, sports medicine doctor. That's like the difference between, a high school diploma and a doctorate's degree. Basically. Anyway, if your fitness trainer is telling you essentially not to train, and you have had medical professionals give you a clean bill of health, there is no reason you should not be training, and you just feel like, I'm out of breath, it's because you are not physically conditioned yet for the activity that you want to do. What do? You modify the exercise and you keep doing it until you get better at it and stronger, and you can do more of it, and you just keep doing that gradually over time until your body adapts. There was a story, an actual true story. I don't remember the guy's name. But this man wanted to kill himself. He was very sad, very depressed. And he had a heart condition. He was actually diagnosed with a heart condition. The doctors always told him to avoid physical activity because it would probably kill him. It would probably give him a heart attack. And he decided, I've had it. I'm done. I'm done with this world. I'm going to kill myself. How am I going to do it? Oh, man. Most of those methods of suicide seem really terrible and hard to do. So I'm just going to run around really fast until I die, till my heart explodes. So he went out one night. And he ran as fast as he could until he fell down on the ground, unable to run, and he was huffing and puffing. And he didn't die. And he got up after a while, and he was like, well, I'll try again tomorrow. So he gets up, and he runs as fast as he can, and he runs, and he runs, and he runs. And he goes a little bit farther, tries a little bit harder. And he falls down. He's like, hyperventilating. But he doesn't die. I'll try again tomorrow, he tells himself. And this goes on for some time. Each time, he runs a little bit farther. He gets a little bit healthier, a little bit stronger. And then eventually he forgets all about killing himself, and he just keeps going out and running as fast as he can, as hard as he can, until he drops, and then eventually he forgets all about the idea of being depressed and wanting to die, and instead he just finds he really likes to run. And eventually he goes and sees a doctor, and the doctor says, wow, you're in much better shape than you used to be. What happened? Well, he changed two things. He changed his body, he changed his mind, but he also changed the connection between the two, because your body is your mind and your mind is your body. Where is your brain? It's part of your body. It's part of your central nervous system that connects to everything else. It is a part of everything else in your body. I didn't finish reading your question yet, so let's finish Russ's question anyway. So he needs about 5 or 10 minutes till he gets his heartbeat down under 150. Okay. That's not that unusual, to be honest. I forgot about running a long time ago. And I can barely do jogging for more than 5 minutes. Hey, me too, but not because of cardio reasons. It's because of my joints. Because running and jogging is... And I'm going to get some people arguing with me about this in the comments. But running and jogging are really, really stressful on your joints. Especially if you have knee injuries, hip injuries, etc. That is just your joints slamming into each other over and over and over and over again. And there are much, much better, more efficient ways to exercise than running. If your sport is running, cool, run. That's what you need to do. If your sport is fighting, there are a lot of other sport-specific things to train in that do not involve running. They will whoop you into shape a whole lot faster, a whole lot more efficiently. You should look into them. Try this. Lie down on the floor. Stand up. Lie back down on the floor, on your back. Go from the lowest point to the highest point. Lie down, stand up, lie down, stand up, lie down, stand up. Do that for a few minutes. Do that till you feel tired. Take a little break. Then do another round. Do another minute, another 2 minutes, another 3 minutes, however long you can. Until you feel like, okay, I need a break. Take a little break. Till your heart rate goes down again, and then do it again. Do you know what that's called? High-intensity interval training. When you do something that spikes your heart rate, that gets it up real high, you take a little break till it comes down, and then you do something intense again. And intense is different. It's relative to your experience, relative to your muscular adaptation. So if you look at a professional athlete, some guy who's able to jump around and do sprints and burpees and hit the bags and do all this crazy stuff without breaking a sweat, so it seems. Don't feel bad because you're not there yet. It might take you a long time to get there. So don't compare yourself to that guy. Compare yourself to yesterday. Do a little bit more. Focus on small improvements. 1% improvements. Go check out Ricky Lindell. The dude is awesome. Go check out his squat program. Ricky Lindell, he's awesome for a lot of reasons. He was the youngest Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt way back when, at the age of 21. I think that record has been surpassed since then. But first guy to get his Jiu-Jitsu black belt at age 21. And he wrestled for Iowa State, had all these amazing grappling accomplishments. He's trained UFC fighters, done some great stuff in the world of martial arts. But he did something really astounding, which is he's not a big guy. Not a really big guy. And he had a pretty average squat for a guy his size. And he made this goal. In 500 days, I'm going to squat 500 pounds. He's going to go from basically triple what he could squat in 500 days. How did he do it? Well, he had this motto. 1% improvement every day. So go check this guy out. Go check out his program. It's good stuff. Why is it good stuff? Because it is comprehensible for anyone. Whether you have the potential to lift as much weight as he did or simply improve and get better than you are right now. The way you do that is through incremental improvements. Realistic, tangible improvements. 1% improvements every day. Easy, right? Anybody can improve 1% every day. You can be 1% better tomorrow than you are today. And guess what? In 100 days, you're 100% better. The time will pass anyway. You might as well get a reward for it. Reevaluate what you can and what you can't do. Listen to your body. If your body is telling you, I am dying, cut it out, tone it back. You might want to pay attention a little bit to that. You might want to ease into it. But at the same time, don't let your body say, let's just do nothing and be comfortable and sit here until we die. Because that's no good either. Good luck to you, Russ. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.